Imagine a vast, vibrant tapestry woven with threads of diverse cultures, languages, and traditions. Now, picture a shadow falling across this tapestry, a shadow that rips apart the fabric, leaving behind gaping holes and faded colors. This is the legacy of British colonialism, a legacy etched in the pain and displacement of countless people across the globe. It is a legacy that continues to haunt the present, a constant reminder of the violence inflicted upon nations and the enduring struggle for justice. From the shores of Africa to the islands of the Caribbean, the impact of British colonialism is deeply felt. It is in the stories whispered by elders, tales of lost homelands and shattered communities. It is in the eyes of children who grapple with the inequalities and injustices inherited from a troubled past. The emotional and physical scars run deep, a constant reminder of the human cost of empire. The legacy of colonialism is not merely a matter of historical record. It is a living presence shaping the realities of millions around the world. It is a call to action, a demand to confront the uncomfortable truths of the past and to work towards a future where the wounds of colonialism can finally begin to heal. How did a nation, often perceived as a bastion of democracy and justice, justify the subjugation of entire populations? The answer lies in a web of legal and ideological constructs designed to legitimize the unjustifiable. Central to this web were the doctrine of discovery and the concept of terra nullius, the belief that lands unoccupied by Christian Europeans were essentially empty and ripe for the taking. The doctrine of discovery, rooted in papal bulls of the 15th century, granted European powers the right to claim any land not inhabited by Christians. This doctrine, steeped in Eurocentrism and religious arrogance, provided a convenient moral and legal framework for colonial expansion. It ignored the rich histories, complex societies, and established systems of governance that already existed in these lands, deeming them savage and uncivilized. The notion of terra nullius, meaning nobody's land, further fueled this sense of entitlement. By portraying indigenous lands as empty and unproductive, colonial powers could justify their claims as acts of civilization, bringing progress and enlightenment to supposedly backward peoples. This dangerous narrative, devoid of any recognition of indigenous ownership or sovereignty, served as a powerful tool for dispossession and exploitation. The imposition of British rule was met with fierce resistance across the globe. From the Americas to Asia, Africa to Oceania, indigenous populations rose up against their oppressors, defending their lands, cultures, and ways of life. These acts of resistance, often met with brutal force, stand as testaments to the indomitable spirit of those who refused to be subjugated. The Indian Rebellion of 1857, sparked by the controversial Enfield rifles greased with animal fat, became a symbol of resistance against British rule. What began as a mutiny among sepoys of the British East India Company quickly transformed into a widespread uprising, uniting diverse communities against the common enemy. The rebellion, though ultimately crushed, left an indelible mark on the British psyche, exposing the fragility of their empire and the deep resentment it had sown. In Kenya, the Mau Mau uprising of the 1950s embodied the struggle for land and freedom. Facing forced displacement, land alienation, and brutal oppression, the Kikuyu people, under the banner of the Mau Mau, launched a guerrilla war against British colonial rule. The uprising, characterized by its secrecy and oath-taking ceremonies, shook the foundations of British authority and paved the way for Kenya's eventual independence.